Hey guys, Shadylikeatree here, and welcome into Reminiscing with Shady episode 96. This is Nascar Thunder 2004. It was developed by Image Space Incorporated on the PC, EA Tribune on PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and Budcat Creations on the PlayStation X. It was published by EA Sports. It is an EA Sports game that features Tony Stewart on the cover. Again, developed for Windows, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and it was canceled on the GameCube. It was released September 16th, 2003 in North America. Really quickly, some of the things, the gameplay you're watching, this is me in a career mode, create a car. Basically what you do is you start out with nothing, very bad, minimum parts, kind of terrible crew, and the idea is that you just try to work your way up the charts and get better crew, better sponsors, so on and so forth during career mode. This isn't one of those, at least for me, where you could go from dead last to first in the rankings right away. You can kind of outrace the players, but your car is just far inferior to them, especially on the long straightaways. So if you're not drafting, you're falling behind, and you're falling behind fast. And in career mode, you basically, like I said, you start out with nothing, kind of a poor crew, and you kind of just got to work your way up. Kind of also new to this game was the Grudges and Alliances feature, which you're seeing me kind of use. A person who you bump will no longer be friends with you. They will be a rival and have a grudge with you, but anyone you draft off of, if you draft off them long enough, they will go from neutral to being an ally, and so you go plus 100 to minus 100 respectively. And here you can see I'm kind of moving up in this 10-part race. Things are kind of tight here in the back, but that is what it is. So let me talk about this game. I have played this game quite a bit in my time. This is really the only true NASCAR game I've ever owned or purchased or anything like that. I thought it was fun. Back in 2004, I had this goal where I wanted to have all the EA Sports games, and I wanted to regularly play them. And so, like, I got them all. I got MVP Baseball that year. I got this. I got NBA Live, Madden. I got all of them this year. And I played them pretty regularly, I might add. But at the end of the day, you know, this was really the only one I've ever played. I've never been a big NASCAR fan. If it's on TV, I've been known to watch it a time or two, but I don't follow any drivers. I don't have a favorite driver. I don't follow it religiously. I know there are people that do, and I do think that, you know, what the drivers go through is pretty incredible. But at the end of the day, it's just not my thing to kind of watch regularly. As I slingshot forward here. But yeah, so that's kind of where I stand on it. What I really liked about this game was just, again, and I've talked about this in other previous sports titles, is that there's a team building aspect to this, and kind of a starting from scratch, building a new aspect, and that's what I like most about it. I like to build teams from scratch. I like to play with numbers and try to create a good team, and creating a good crew team is pretty important in this, and so doing that is something that I highly enjoy and really like, you know, experimenting with as I wreck that guy and wreck myself. So I kind of decided to go into the pit and get new tires and stuff. But anyway, you know, so that's kind of what I really like about this game. I like the career mode. It's a pretty good racing simulator for back in the day. I don't think that necessarily it's you know, the best game ever, but it was just a fun one that I played, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. You know, I tried to pick sponsors, and of course my favorite color is blue, so I have blue coloring and blue and white, and you get kind of, I don't want to say crappy sponsors, but you do get, you know, sponsors who don't offer you a lot of money or resources or energy or anything. And so at the end of the day, that's what you kind of have to do. You kind of have to just make it work, and so I do. I played through this season a few times back in the day. I never did really well at this game. I've never been a good racing game person per se. Um, I think the highest I ever finished at the end of the first season was like 12th or something like that. I have won this particular race quite a bit. I was kind of disappointed that I didn't perform as well as I should have during this particular race, but you know, it's still, this game is still kind of fun for me because of how much time I logged into it, and I played a crap load of the 2004 EA Sports games. I mean, I played so many. It was unreal, and you know, this was no different. And you know, I wasn't able to drive just yet, so this was kind of me learning how to drive on some level, because I did have a racing wheel back then, and you can kind of see me struggling to stay on the line that I need to stay on here around the turns. But we are doing very well. Very well for where we are, kind of rank-wise and whatnot. You know, being one of the crappier teams, and looky here, this guy's kind of blocking me a little bit, but it is what it is. Get around him, get around him, get around him. So yeah, this, oh, crap. It's been so long since I played this, I totally forgot about what happens in this gameplay, but yeah, it's a really good simulator. I do think that NASCAR Thunder was a really good simulator for NASCAR. It kind of shows what happens, and people bump into each other, and things happen, and you try to draft off people, and you know, you try not to wreck your car in the process. But at the end of the day, you know, it's a fun game, and I like the new kind of additives they added to this. I haven't played any since then. I haven't, like I said, I haven't played any NASCAR Thunders or any of the newer racing games since then. I know a lot of the ones in recent history haven't been very good, according to the people that I know who regularly play the game. But at the same time, you know, I don't really have any interest in playing those games. So, but I'm kind of curious to see if you guys have any experience with this or the other EA Sports racing games. I'm kind of interested to see where this falls on the spectrum, having been really my only experience playing this game and this franchise. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about racing, so I don't know when my tires need replaced or how fueling works. I just kind of listen to the crew chief who's over the radio and kind of just do what he tells me to do, basically, because I think that's what you're supposed to do anyhow. But yeah, this guy's blocking me hardcore. I'm like wanting to get around. Let me get around, sir. Blocking me hardcore. We're going low then, I guess. But yeah, so I'm just curious to see what you guys think of this game as I'm getting past here, and I'm getting past kind of high. Oh, and I made it into the wall. Yay. Oh god, wreck. Don't wreck. Don't wreck. Don't wreck. Oh god. Wrecking hardcore. That's not good. Anyway, back to it. Yeah, just NASCAR has been something that I've found interesting in my life, but again, not something that I've like followed religiously or with any kind of conviction or anything. So I just thought I'd bring you guys this gameplay for episode 96. You know, NASCAR Thunder, and they also had, I believe, a ride at the local theme park, which they basically kind of just took you around and pretended like you were driving in a race or what have you. Okay. And so, you know, other than that in this game, I have like really no experience with racing simulations or games or what have you, and that's just kind of how it is, I guess. But this is on PlayStation 2. I didn't mention that before. I was a Sony guy growing up, always have been. Here we get the white flag for the final lap. But I have been a Sony guy growing up pretty much my whole life, and so playing this on PlayStation 2 was kind of paramount and Captain Obvious that for what I'm used to and kind of where I'm at in my gaming history, just so you guys are aware. Also, I played this on one of those old tube TVs at my dad's, which is pretty funny. I would have been not quite 15 when this game came out, I would have been, actually, I'd have been a little older than 15, I think. No, I'd been a little older than 14, yeah. So I would have been a little older than 14. Um, and yeah, it's a fun, interesting experience. And I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed this Reminiscing with Shady. Kind of coming back and watching this game is definitely different. We got the checkered flag here, and I finished in 23rd, which is not bad for, you know, having the worst crew and the worst team out there. But thanks again for watching, guys. DFTBA, and I'll see you next time.